Ah, tremendo, soy el único streamer de Stanley Parable. Hello, Mario, hello. Diablo. ¿Dónde está Text to Speech? Ahí.
92.28.211.234n 4.8188551 y menos 75 7.141.593.21 número SS 6.970.
Está parado. Ah, no continúa. Pero vaya, te has equivocado porque tengo abiertos también los puertos del Minecraft. Voy a mover el Claim Notification. La voy a poner allí en todo el medio. Pero no me deja transforma. Transform. Render screen. R gordota. That's what she said. Ok. Vale. Pues a tope la... Me va el chaterino, bueno. Pues la parábola del Stanley este. A ver. Hello. Bueno. The end is never the end, the end is never the end, the end is never the end. The end is loading. Controlling ya desde la pantalla de carga. He empezado un poquito tarde el streaming. Estaba haciendo de FireAlfa esta mañana. Estaba ocupado arreglando la casa. He hecho piernas, me quiero morir. Me he tenido que sentar
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
medio camino de vuelta.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Una mano
Though he
trabaja.
had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say, hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yo. Soy el Stanley. Oh my god, I stepped out of my office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sí, es para hoy. Por eso no he ido. Yo, ¿is that a meeting room? I hate Mondays. Claro, lunes de Pascua, es fiesta.
When Stanley
Las
came to a
backrooms.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, con el ruido de fondo y todo, ¿eh? Literalmente las backrooms. ¿Se ve bien el juego, by the way, o lo subo un poco?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Y notas, ¿eh? Le doy a la S y sonido de teclado. Maravilloso. Quiero ver el PowerPoint entero. Buah, qué locura, ¿eh? Ah, thank you, Mario. No. Ojo. Slide. Pero bueno, no para. Bueno. Nice. Es decir, al boss que lo bien que nos cae, ¿no? Nice. Sí, gente. Me sedujo un PowerPoint. Ojo, empieza. Nah. Muy bien, la verdad. Vamos a ver dónde está. Broom Closet. No hay brooms. Sí que hay brooms. O menos sound.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
De hecho, hay una bruma aquí. Sí que hay
There
cosas,
was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Bueno.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Vamos a acercarlo, a hacerle caso. A hacerle caso. Este cuadrado, bien cuadrado, bien. Cuadrito blanco. Pero mala textura, gente. Bueno, qué bien que vive, señor boss. Executive Bathroom. No puedo echar una cagadera real. Hello.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Alguien me está mirando, hay una cámara ahí. Stanley no lo sabe. Pero no soy Stanley. ¿Este puntito?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Bueno.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Backroom sound intensifies. What is this? Stanley no sabe saltar, by the way. Ah, venía con el DLC, creo. secreto del jefe es que tiene un secret bathroom, parte 2. Tiene el executive, pero tiene este de aquí.
Deeper into the building,
Pega Royal
Stanley
Sheets.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
No.
Why did he
Andy
feel
le
this
hace
now,
caso a las
when
voces.
for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
No, cortito y todo. Palo, se rompió el ascensor.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No lo había ni visto. If light is on, call exit 114 immediately. Immediately.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
¿Por qué cojones se ha muteado el micro? Lo siento, banda.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a
Yo no sé qué me ha dicho, señor, la
and
verdad,
believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until
Goodbye,
the moment
Emily.
I say
Hasta luego.
happily ever after.
Desde antes del Premier Mario. Oh my god, curva. Pues no sé con qué botón le he moteado, la verdad. A ver, voy a probar.
The But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. He had to make a decision. What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What? It came. Oh my god. ¿Yo me han dicho algo? No. A ver. Estánlo. ¿Dónde chotas está la cámara? Debo decir, ¿es eso? ¿Es esto la cámara? ¿Es that you motherfucker? Porque se veía como desde aquí. Green, red, yellow. Apunten, gente. Súper importante.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Pues ahora me enfado contigo y no te hago caso. ¡Ah! Ahora me voy corriendo. Verde, rojo, amarillo. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh my god, look! The door to my left!
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh my god, another door to my left?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Se oye como un petardeo del audio. No sé si es que el juego está así o es mi PC que está tweaking. Any comments?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Ah, se ve muy bien, Una agüita no tenéis. Cold drinks, $125. I don't have a dollar.
Point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
No sonido. Perito quiere mod. Muéstrame esta.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
The game will send my balls. Ja. ¿Pone aquí? Fuel. Pues pensaba que ponía al principio. No quiero, señor narrador. Ligma. Puede ser como... Le he ganado, chicos. Me he quedado con la mejor sala del mundo. I will chill here. El sofá mejor. Oh my god, look at the views. Sí, sí. Bien. Y salió al pasillo. Dirigido. Bueno, va.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Publicidad. Botón de publi. Let's fucking go. Aprovecho. Oh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Cierto. A ver qué están haciendo aquí. Cuadrados. Nice. A ver, agüita. Voy. Luculu. Ah, thank you. Si no me deshidrato. A ver, ¿qué hay por aquí? Buah, me voy a poner ahí y me voy a morir. Tarjeta. Where tarjeta. Bueno. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. $1000, pero si estás... Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift. $5,000. Me voy a morir. Ah, vale.
Look, Stanley,
que va
I
solo.
think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
¿Pero puede jump off?
I'm
A ver,
not
si
your
no puedo
enemy,
jump.
really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her? Oh my god. Mi mamá. Se ha llevado a mi mamá.
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
¿Qué haría Lizzie? Oh no. She's waiting for me. I have to go. Hello. Uf, ese caminito muy parkourable, muy saltable, muy... Se podría haber aprovechado la opción, A ver. Let me go back to her. Y ese Dark. Welcome back. Buah, seguro que no pasará nada cuando entre aquí.
That's her, Stanley.
That's her,
You
oh my
need to
god.
be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hola, Brito. A ver qué dice, a ver. Hello. Perdón por el flashbang. Verga, me trolearon.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie.
Oh,
Sorry
no.
to keep you waiting. I'm just
More
putting the
agüita,
bread
more
out of the
agüita.
oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Wow.
I'm trying to make a point
Te han
here,
troleado,
Stanley.
Lizzie. Te han
I'm
troleado.
trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Should I though? Should I? Bueno, va, a ver, ¿qué me enseñas? ¿Pelea?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Thank you. Good morning. Press H on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Nice. Please press R from restarted.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Y si no quiero que... Soy rebelde, Mira, le voy a dar la E. Que está close. Ay. Ay, 4. Ay. 2. Ay. Ay. Pues nada, le doy al 3.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press M to watch TV. Huge.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press K to spend time with the boys. Press K to spend time with the boys.
Further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Hombre, obviamente que le voy a dar.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Is that a 0 or an O?
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Te voy a hacer caso, amigo, te voy a hacer caso. Confío en ti. I'm not doing it. No lo voy a hacer. No lo estoy haciendo. Pero podría darle, ¿no? ¿Y si aprieto el ratón? ¿Y si aprieto de la tecla? ¿Y si le doy al escape? ¡Ah! ¿Y si le doy a la X otra vez? Ah, le di.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I will question things. Mira, le he puesto un question mark. No sale. La X. 0. 3. No, Press G.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I...
Bueno. Verde, rojo, amarillo. We see each other again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Por la derecha había el caminito ese por el que se podía saltar. Que ponía que te morías. But would you die though? Ponía please kill yourself.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
no, ponía
well.
please die.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maravilloso
Wow.
employee room.
Yes, this
Maravilloso.
room.
Por
Eager
huevos.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
¿Y qué hay aquí? Nada, quiero probar a saltar a la mierda.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
Lo
incredible
siento, amigo, lo
he
siento.
wasn't fired years ago.
Tengo que ir por esa puerta.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Creo que sí, creo que
I'm
sí.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
¡Curva!
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero
siento, amigo, lo siento.
consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
No.
I don't know how to convince you of this.
Danger.
But I
Danger
really
everywhere.
do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Vale, pues ahora qué.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm
Aquí,
on
aquí,
your
aquí.
side.
Ahora. Voy,
Give me a
voy.
chance.
Uy. Se pone seductor, ¿eh? Dos B3. 2B5. Bueno,
Now listen carefully,
bueno.
this is important.
Colores.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Seguro que es mi pana.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Solo un
You
poco.
see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The 2 of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Es la misma puerta, ¿no? Qué bien hecho está esto.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Qué bueno, ¿qué es eso? Camina hacia la luz.
Here.
Yo.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
No hay control, gente, no hay control. No lo miréis, no le hagáis caso. Tengo un nuevo fondo de pantalla. Dadle a suscribir, dadle a suscribir. Qué bonito, ¿no? Oh, Paul, és literalment el que fèiem a Processing. Entiendo que tenga que ser happy, pero tengo la misión de... Die.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Ah, no, perdón.
Right. Where were we?
Ahí, gozándolo todo, gozándolo. ¿Habrá otro? ¿O vuelve con las luces blancas del principio? Mira. ¡Rojas ahora! Wait a minute. Verde, rojo. Amarillo. Mufagarás, dice mufagarás. Glu. Sí, I think communist. Ahora tiene que salir amarillo. Es el significado del universo. Look! It's orange. Close to amarillo. Me va a dar algo, Estoy tropezando. I'm tripping. Lo siento. Me canché. Uf, se ha quedado ahí.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Will we though? Nothing but
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Lo siento, amigo. Lo siento. Me dijiste, please die. Me dijiste, please die. I will please die.
No!
I have not died.
Thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment.
I will please die.
Can we please get... No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I will get us out. I promise. Curva.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Me la ha pedido pretty please, Bien, si me pongo aquí. Ya no nos ven los malos. Venga, vamos a ir un ratito. ¿Vamos a ir un ratito? ¿Te puedo enseñar los colores?
Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking
Bof!
about.
Amarillo.
I know you'll
What's the meaning?
You'll see that we can't
Wait a
make it
minute.
if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Pero, ¿puedo morirme aquí? Ah, hay una wall. Hubiera sido demasiado. Ah,
No.
the troll.
Perhaps not.
I do not see. I am legally blind. By the way, ¿qué clase de
My
tobillos
God.
tiene Stanley?
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
¿Manipulado por un hombre? Jamás.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Lo es. I'm sorry, my friend.
Is it over?
Yo.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Ahora el narrador se ha cansado de mí y no va a decir nada.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
No, my friend, no. No, my friend.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vale, pero ¿por dónde puedo ir ahora? ¿Algo que no haya visto? No sé, a la izquierda. No me acuerdo. Ahí en la conference room. Sí es.
Yet.
Aquí unos minutejos. Ahora dan a ir a... Aquí, de aquí no me voy.
No.
Sí.
Not again. I won't be part of this.
Sí.
I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room.
Me has
Please
dicho que me
take
queda
your
el
time.
sitio safe. Me he quedado. Nada, ya está. Es broma. Es bromi. Ah,
Coming
por
to a
abajo no había
staircase,
ido.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fire hose? Wait a minute. Me interesa.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking
Crazy?
mysteriously
I
out
was
of
crazy once.
existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Porque estás tripping, amigo.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Pero tripping balls banana al menos,
The voice speak these words was quite a shock to
Pero
Stanley.
eso estaba ahí.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Pobre curva.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Toma.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Yo.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Queda nada, dirá. So I will leave it here for now. How can I save the same? Oh, ahí está. Pues hasta luego, señores. Muchas gracias por acompañarme. Huevo agüita, huevo agüita. Chao, chao. Un besito en la cuca. Okay, I have returned. He vuelto, he vuelto. Voy a hacer un poquito de endings más. Y luego me pondré a currar, hacer cositas. Y vamos a cargarlo. Señora, sí señora, a beber agüita.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me.
No lo había visto ya.
In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Aquí se viene. Me viene. ¿Puedo cerrar la puerta?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
Le he
What
dado a
if he
cerrar la
had to
puerta
make
sin
a
querer.
decision?
Bueno, ahora tengo que
What if
verlo
the
otra vez.
crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No.
Gola, Mario, gola.
This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited.
Que sí, pero que no quiero
Hours
ser happy
passed,
aquí, que no quiero
then
salir.
days.
Let
Had
me
years gone
out!
by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end.
Very soon.
He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
Escape y reset
Here
también.
it comes.
Pero no quiero. Me niego. Corre, 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 curva.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Speedrun, speedrun. Voy a llegar al final, voy a llegar al mundo de verdad.
When
Izquierda.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Boom.
door on his left.
Pum, pum, pum. Reunión, reunión,
Yet there
reunión.
was
No,
not
no
a
hay nadie,
single
no hay nadie.
person
Go, go,
here
pero jefe,
either.
go, go.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Go, 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 la office, go, go, go.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
¿Qué código era?
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
2485,
who
algo así.
orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from
Dime el
him.
número.
And so the boss had assigned it
2,
an
8,
extra
5.
secret
Close.
PIN number.
Ay, 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 ay.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the
Ole.
newly opened passageway.
A ver si esta vez le doy a off en vez de a on. A ver qué sucede. Porque la verdad es que la otra vez le he dado a on sin querer. Así que bien.
Stanley realized he felt
Me había olvidado lo que me había dicho, así que
it was a stirring of
le di a
emotion in
encender el
his
power
chest, as though he
para
felt more
apagar las
free to
cosas, le
think
di a
for
encender.
himself,
Sí.
to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
El escape, y luego iré por ahí. Doink.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Cuidadito, vaya a ser
What
también.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's
Sube
co-workers.
desde abajo.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to
Goddamn.
images on a screen, and Stanley,
Ahí estoy yo,
one of them,
La cámara es...
eternally monitored in this place where freedom
La
meant
cámara es el
nothing.
archivo ese que hay arriba. Muy bien.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yo creo que sí.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
¿Y ese
in
pirata?
someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Narrador no
But
os
here
ve.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Así es, doña. Oh,
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
¿y si vuelve ahora?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ojito, un Stanley feliz. Oh, me he ido el achievement que le he pasado. ¡Ole! Uy, es diferente. Ay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wait a minute.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley
curva.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, voy on.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A ver qué hay por el pasito de escape. Bueno, ya está ahí, ¿eh? Un ascensor. ¿Qué hay arriba? Musiquita de ascensor. Maravilloso. ¡Yo! Y está cantando el narrador. Y el ascensor, ¿no? Maravilloso tema, bro. Mira. Chilling. Que me encanta el señor, que me encanta. Madre mía, el bus Dubai, ¿eh? ¿Y este dibujito aquí en la pared? Estoy en el mismo sitio. Si lo de abajo. El mejor sitio del mundo. Fuck la sala de colores. All my homies love ascensor. Épico. De lo mejor que hay en el juego, chicos.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, narrador. Hay un sitio al que quiero ir,
Feeling
though.
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Gracias. Escape, escape, escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Did I
Mind
though?
Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, bueno.
The door behind him was not
Mira
shut.
cómo va cargando
Stanley still had
el
every
detalle
opportunity to turn around and get back on
de-
track.
por la, si miráis los muros, se va cargando el... A medida que vas avanzando o te mueves, se carga el nivel de detalle. Pero está muy cerca.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Sí. Sí. Yo, ¿de qué quise la, Hasta luego. Yo, sigo cayendo. Did I though? Did I fucking die?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence
Pero
whatsoever.
puedo saltar ahora.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
It worked?
Farewell, Stanley, cried
Yo!
the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Yo. Estoy en la Casa Blanca.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Estoy en el museo de Stanley. Ah, qué locura. These computers. Oh. No, no lo puedo leer. Épico, épico. Salía los credits, cuidado. The Office, no way. ¿Cómo funciona la puerta? Ojito. Maravilloso. Maravilloso. Ojito los credits. Maravilloso. Derecha o izquierda. Oh my god, otra vez. Yo. A ver qué hay por el otro lado. Qué bonito el sitio, ¿no? Boss's Office. Oh. Uy.
When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever. Stanley stood on the roof.
Nah, maravilloso. The exit, maravilloso. Yo literally enjoying the museum content. Pido unas cuantas. Stanley Office, ¿eh? Maravilloso. Ve por aquí. Ration emails. Warzone. Creo que no me dejo nada. No me dejo nada. Va al medio. Curva. Ricardo, perdido ya. Sending, ahí no he llegado, creo. No me suena. Ahí. A ver este guardia aquí atrás. Like noise. ¿Trailers? ¡Qué buen trailer! Esto sí es cine. Pues nada, volvemos. Un botón. Uy, uy, uy. Ahí tengo el botón.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
Hmm. Hmm. Nice. Pues creo que con esto voy a pasar a hacer work, hacer cositas. Me ha gustado, está guapo. Por eso está en la lista. Ole. Uno más. Stanley Parable. X marcado. Vamos. Solo me quedan 85 juegos. Second go. Vengo a molestaros a Discord. Hola.
No, güey, pues es el streamer, ¿no?
Oli.
Es el streamer de éxito.
¿Qué haces aquí?
HF neta. Toca Dungeon Dome.
Ah.
¿Crees que se puede streamear Dungeon Dome?
Sí,
No, nos miran mal.
si tuviera malamente.
Hello people. Estamos en vivo. Vamos a terminar un poquito de Stanley Parable. Vale. Un par de cositas. Empezamos. Ok. Unas cuantas decisiones que no tomé ayer. Cuesta, se me ha medio colgado el programa. Corre, weón, corre. Ojo, ha vuelto. Stanley.exe ha vuelto a funcionar. Ahí me pondrá todo el discursito de... No, vale.
All of his co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost
Grande,
certainly
narrador, grande.
50 clicks.
Voy, no sabes la persistence que tengo. I will click the shit out of it.
No, I'm
No?
still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Ah, curva. 417, ¿dónde estaba? 417... Aquí. Es que vi el achievement
Great.
ayer.
Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437 esto está para adelante, ¿no? Supongo. ¿O no? 437. ¿Dónde chodas está? Aquí.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. Por aquí está, venga.
Now, back to door number 437.
Claro que sí, campeón.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Copy machine, venga, vamos a la copy machine. ¿Dónde está? Aquí.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
¿Cómo me está troleando?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Ah, ahí me ha pillado,
Yes! This
se
is
puede
great!
hacer la
You're
rampita.
putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
¿Voy a otra copy machine por aquí? Tengo que ir...
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Nice. Nice. Vale. Vamos a ir por la
When
derecha.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Creo que por ahí,
And so
¿no?
he detoured through the
Oh,
maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Actually. Esto no me suena, ¿eh? Creo que por aquí no he ido.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
¿Me va a trolear?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Nice. Ooh, spooky. Ooh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're
Oh,
not supposed to be
por
here
arriba.
yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Maravilloso.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No,
It was not from the
no,
top.
I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Por ahí. Ojito. Derecha. A ver, vamos al mapa. No. Es un laberinto. Uy, ¿la puerta? Doors, more doors. Where the fuck am I? Well, that's not how it's supposed
I'll
to
say
be.
it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been
Hey.
on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
¡Uy! Está llegando a un sitio, creo.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay,
Puertas.
yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
A ver. Una habitación por aquí que se abra. No. No veo nada, ¿eh?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Okay, spooky.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Oh,
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no.
Hola, Mario.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay. Adventure
All
line.
right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Maravilloso. Uy. Uy, uy, uy.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Por la música, amigo. Apenas no debo pensar. La de la música, narrador. No me debo pensar. Música, sala. ¿Los Newtonian? Llegamos ya, por favor.
Cut the music. Go
Gracias.
back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Vale, voy a sacar una cosita del horno. Estoy estudiando la plantita por mí. Voy a dejar como 3 minutos más. Así que puedo volver a irme. Nos lo hemos aprendido ya, ¿no? Sí, tiene hojas. Importante.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
He roto al narrador. He roto the line. No!
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Vale. La línea. Vale.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why
Right.
can't we make up our own story?
Exacto.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Venga, pues vamos a ver. ¿Por dónde me llevas? 437, cuidado,
Now, yes, this is exciting.
emocionante.
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
No.
Go wild. Use your imagination.
No.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Pero, fucking, dragons.
Oh,
That's
no,
not a fucking
not
dragon.
you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Siento technology TM. Pasamos por aquí. O no. Eso me devuelve por... el cubo trademark. Cubo trademark. Que pasar por la línea pasando de la línea. A veces ves como no te miro. Pero no para, Ahí, vete. Bueno,
A
bueno.
choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each...
Ay. Ahorra otra vez.
Door has to
Todo
lead
preparado.
somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse
En círculos,
door
en
that
círculos,
leads
en
here.
círculos.
And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So
Completamente.
starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Let's go. Nice.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Para que reiniciar, ¿no?
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Yo!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Vamos con el loop, porque no sé si he hecho lo que tenía que hacer.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Let me out. Let me out.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Creo que esta no era el reset que tocaba, ¿eh? Tenía que haber hecho algo, creo, y no lo he hecho.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television. Screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Te lo he hecho ya, eh. Let's begin again. No me acuerdo. Vale, no sé si estás por aquí. No me acuerdo cómo se llaman las puertas de colorinos.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dejar de hacerle caso. Para el sudar de su cara.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Saltar por aquí, ¿no? De aquí.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red? I'm colorblind.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Red?
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Puerta pocha que es otra vez. A ver, ¿qué por aquí?
Okay,
Bueno.
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
No sé. Oh, que ese horrible sonido además. A ver si se muere.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I have absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Yo,
This will go
tierra.
here. No, here. And then...
Looks like a coffin to me.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it.
Minecraft.
Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Okay. Vamos a ver. ¿Que no me deja? ¿Me deja o no sé pasar por una puerta?
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
¿Estoy jugando a Minecraft?
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No. No te preocupes, subo el gamma.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel
Enderman?
utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
New game. ¿Qué me pondrá? Tiririri.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out.
No puedo glitcharla porque no puedo saltar.
Curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Yo!
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Gracias. Mi juego favorito es Action, ¡Oh!
Genius.
Gracias.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I...
Me tiro para el pozo. ¡Yo! ¿Se ha ido? I'm just going to leave it there. ¿Se ha ido? Un poco oscuro. Hello. Parece un poco como que voy a caer, ¿no? Podemos ir por la puerta, ¿no? Es lo que nos enseña el juego. I think I died. Sigue sonando a Minecraft cuando ando. Narrador, ¿puedes volver? Dos puertas, pero... ¿eh? ¿No? ¿Ahorita? Oh. Mi puerta. Bro, what? Oh!
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
No. Ok, nice. Creo que lo único que quería
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
probar
it mean?
era
Stanley decided to
no
go to the
responder
meeting
el
room.
teléfono.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Lo único... Pero mire.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Era por aquí. Era el otro.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
¿Dónde era?
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase,
¿Por qué
Stanley
abajo?
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, madness había.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Oh, ho hecho algo diferente. Había un pasillo azul antes, ¿no?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
Ok.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Gracias.
choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Se pausa. Oh my. 4:30.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back.
Hola.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Vamos, vamos.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Yeah.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vamos a no hacerle caso.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
empeora la situación. Ah, bueno. ¿El bus? Venga, va. Vamos a hacerle caso.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Go. Ojito.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came into a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yo.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I don't think so, eh? I don't have the facilities for that, big man. What am I supposed to do?
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I'm trying. Nightshark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I'm trying, bro.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Yo.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors.
Yo.
He entered the door on his left.
Is that Stanley? Hey, Stanley.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
No, soy Stanley, yo.
Please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong.
Voy a
We
dejarlo
can
por
work
aquí.
together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that
Maravilloso
step
juego, la
forward,
verdad.
please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can
Qué bonito,
know.
qué bien hecho.
I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You're listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to
Pobrecito el
do.
narrador.
Take as much time as you need.
Yo, pasillo diferente again? Well, now I have to see. Directo a las
When
puertas.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Voy por aquí a ver qué encuentro.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Bueno. Maravilloso, maravilloso. Voy a terminar el stream. Mañana toca empezar el Ori. Así que haremos cositas. Haremos plataformas.